Hi, my name is Sue Babin, and I'll be your host today for today's program on the Developmental Disabilities Council's project on self-employment. The self-employment project is funded by Rhode Island Department of Labor and Training's Real Pathways Rhode Island project, which is designed to assist people with disabilities to start and grow successful businesses. It's the first time that a program like this has been created within Rhode Island, and it's really exciting to be a part of that process. The project has a variety of different components to it, which starts with a 6-class business development series, some individualized technical assistance through business mentors, a networking capacity with quarterly meetings with various entrepreneurs, some mini grants, and some training and other technical assistance provided to community agencies. So today we have with us Brian LaFauci. Brian is a community business owner. He's also the former director of the Veterans Business Outreach Center, and he's one of the consultants, part of our team that works with us in providing individual mentorship and technical assistance to individuals with disabilities that have that entrepreneurial spirit. So welcome, Brian. Thanks for coming to today's show.
Thank you.
We're really excited to have this opportunity to provide some information on the air to people with disabilities that may not be able to get to our classes. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the focus on the business development series, which is 6 individualized classes that are held at the Center for Women in Enterprise in Providence. And the first class is on what does it mean to be an entrepreneur. So Brian, do you want to say a little bit about that?
Sure. About the class or what it means?
Either one would work.
Well, let's talk about the classes really quick first, because so the series of classes is designed to take somebody who enters into that whole concept of, all right, I'm going to work for myself, right? Because that's like this big mystery globe that you kind of can go into, and then where do you start, right? It's kind of like being in a shooken up snow globe and you look around and you have no idea where you are. So that first class is Entrepreneurship Right for You. Gives a really nice overview. All right, hey, when you go into business for yourself, this is kind of a broad overview of some of the main things you got to kind of think about, or at least be willing to do, right? Be willing to kind of venture into. And then, from there, your series that you put together and in the order you put together is fantastic, because then it just walks you through. After that first class, people leave usually with like 1 or 2 things, right? So they leave and they say, that sounds cool, right? Or that sounds fun, I'm going to do that. Or they leave and they say, I don't think I want to do that, right? So in that class, to be honest with you, when it was created, that the Center for Women Enterprise kind of put that class together, and it was really designed to do that. Not only to kind of guide people into business, but designed to guide people who maybe aren't ready to get into business to see that maybe right now there's other things they got to do first. So it talks a lot about, okay, before you even start, what does your current situation look like? Are you in a position where starting's okay, right? Because sometimes just life, I got a baby due in a week, maybe this isn't the right time for me to do this, right? Or I'm getting married in a week. That one hits home a little bit. So, but then most people walk out of there and they say, all right, I get this, what this will look like, and I want to move forward. And then from there, we do the steps to start a business class. So now, in that class, what we're doing is we're taking this concept and we're helping to kind of put someone on a linear path. Because that's the most difficult part, right? So you look at it and you say, all right, where to start? Or what are the check boxes that we have to do to kind of get to the end? So that's like your checkbox class, right? I'm going to have to start maybe looking at a business entity, what type of entity I want, right? I'm going to have to maybe open a bank account. I'm going to have to meet with an insurance person, just get an idea. So it goes through those things. And then once we kind of get a grasp on that, and all right, now you got your little checklist, and you can one at a time kind of kick them all off. Then we kind of go into the next part of it, which is putting some real structure around the business. So an elevator pitch is a piece of that. So you at least know when someone asks you about what you do, which is complicated for a lot of, more complicated than you think, right? So when you did my intro, I always like, nobody likes to hear about themselves, but it's always like, you asked me before, like, all right, what do I say? It's like, I don't know. And with a business, if I asked you, Sue, what do you do on a day-to-day? When you go into work, what do you do? There, you could go right. You can go so many different angles with that. And so people starting a business too, there's a lot usually with a business. There's a lot they do. Right, so how do you get them to be able to kind of, all right, what is the core of what you're going to do? And can you tell someone that? Can you like verbalize that, or can you encapsulate it where if somebody asks within a short period of time, they say that, 30-second, they understand exactly what it is you can provide them. Right, so we get them kind of on that path, and then we go into the business planning, which is more so they can now get an idea of, all right, who are my clients? Who am I going to sell to? What am I going to sell if I'm selling something? And then what are all the pieces of this business that are really important so we can kind of move forward and potentially look to get maybe some funding?
So in the last year, we've had over 40 people come through the classes. I think we've offered 3 rounds of the 6-class series. And people have come into the project with already having a business idea, and I think what the classes have done is to help people to take that business idea and figure out what other market research do they need to do, because you can have an idea, but what you need to have is something that people want to buy, Right. And so there's been some folks that have come through the project that are just thinking about having their own business because it's important to people. Across the nation, 2/3 of people with disabilities typically don't have jobs. And so what self-employment provides for people is an opportunity for somebody to be their own boss, to set their own hours, to decide where they're going to work. And it really develops people's passions, where people are doing something that they're really excited about and proud.
Yeah.
And so what I've seen in the last year is people's self-esteem go up because they're now doing something that they really want to do. And so what the business classes are able to do for folks is to connect people that typically have spent a lot of time with community agencies, to connect them with the business community and to use the resources that anybody in Rhode Island would use if they were interested in starting a business. And so that really is probably the beauty of what we've done with this particular project. And to have people like you, and I should have said, you're one of the instructors, you teach a variety of the courses for people, and it's really important that people feel that they understand the material that's presented in each of the classes. And so that's, you talked about the business planning, we talked a little bit about marketing, which is really a key. You can have a great business idea, but if you don't have some solid marketing ideas of how you're going to get,
right.
How are people going to find out about this business? Right?
Yeah, without a doubt. And what you're doing is, I think what's important to note is how kind of progressive what you're doing really is. Because I just see that what you're providing here, you mentioned that you're state funded with some of this, right? And there's, and I'll get in a lot of trouble for saying this, but there's a lot of state money that goes into programs when then the tangible output of them is really tough to measure. This is so measurable, right? Because not only there's very little soft produced stuff here. You're putting people in a program. They're leaving with a business plan. They are leaving with not just classes that they took and then they go back home. They're leaving with tangible stuff, and then you have the support on the back end for them where they can get the individual counseling.
Yes, right.
Right? All of that's there. So now we've gone through the classes and we got a really good idea, but now we got specific questions, right? Because, hey, I want to bake cookies and I want to sell my cookies, and hey, I want to start a equipment repair shop. Once you start to dig in, now you can't, those specific things are better served one-on-one with a counselor, and you offer that. So now you're offering them the follow-on to push this thing in motion, and then to bring it full circle, what every business that I've ever counseled asks for, the first thing they ask is, what do you think the first thing they ask?
Money.
Money. That's the first thing, right? They'll come to the door and be like, well, and I always say, listen, stop. You worry about the money last, because what I've found is if your idea is good and you can back up why it's good, the money's there in some way, shape, or form, but then you provide that also. So now you
mini
have this
grants.
grant program. So how tangible is this thing where they get the education, they get one-on-one, they get producibles, they get money, and now they're putting that money into their business, and you have started a business from you're not just a piece. Your program is a linear beginning to end. It's awesome.
It's really exciting to
Yeah.
to work with folks and to see, you know, the excitement in people's faces as they're learning different ways to tackle different components of the business that they've been struggling with. And so, you know, you just hit the nail on the head. It's the educational classes, it's the individualized technical assistance, also talking about benefits, because people are concerned that they can lose their benefits
Right.
with the income that they're going to get from their business. And then the mini grants can provide them with the resources that they need to be able to go out and get equipment, to get community resources, inventory, or whatever else that they might need to help their business to grow. And then lastly, something new that we are just starting in the next month will be the monthly or quarterly, we haven't decided yet, the Entrepreneurs Club, where people will get together and kind of learn from one another. And that's really important. You know, I really appreciate all of, what would you say would be the biggest business tip that you would want to leave people with as we end this segment of the program?
So it's what you're doing. It doesn't matter what business you're getting into or what your level of education is. We work with people who have maybe not even a high school education, all the way up to people I've worked with who have their doctorate in nuclear physicists, right? When I was doing veteran work, you know, a naval nuclear physicist that we were helping start. The bottom line I told all those people was, put someone in your corner. Right? So no matter what you do, get someone on board that can help you through the process, because the diversity of ideas that will come into it will help you get there quicker.
Exactly right. Building, for each person to build their own individual business team with people that believe in them is the absolute key to success in terms of their business. So thank you, Brian. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So next what we want to do is we'd like to show a 3-minute video that was produced this year, and what the video shows is part of the classes that Brian has taught. I believe it was the business class, as a matter of fact, how to write a business plan, and it shows different components of the class itself. And then there's some comments from some of the folks that were in the program. But you can see, when you see this video, you'll see the excitement on people's faces, and you'll definitely see a variety of people that are in the class and just excited about kind of moving forward with their business. So we're very grateful to Department of Labor and Training for helping to fund this initiative this year, and we're looking forward to funding for next year. So I hope people will stay and watch this short video and learn all about what the project is about.
This program has more than exceeded our expectations. We've learned everything we've needed, from startup costs to hiring, business plan, our social media, all stuff we had no information on before this.
I like the business planning the most because it helped me with my marketing plan, cost, and social media.
We've met lots of people that have been in the business, they're successful. We've learned from their mistakes, we've learned from their successes, and put us on a path to success.
I met a lot of people that I can have either in my retail shop or my coffee shop.
I like the classes because they're very helpful and they're very nice, and I like to see all my friends.
As far as the workshop and the classes, I find this could be helpful just about to anybody, any profession.
Well, we knew we always wanted to do this. We just didn't know how to go about doing this. We didn't know how to start a business. We didn't know how to do business cards or how to, do the very basic things. So I think just some of the baby steps is a step in the right direction.
I would recommend this business development series to any family that might be interested in helping take their family member to the next level. I could not have done it alone. I'm very thankful for everything that we've learned, and it's really going to help Michael be more successful as an individual.
But at the end of the day, you're here because you said, you know what, this thing, I want it to make me money. A business plan is a roadmap. We're also going to do some exercises together, so that way you have something that you take with you that reminds you, oh yeah, this is what I need to do there. You said I do concrete and cookies, which I think is very cool. So I want you to focus on putting together a plan for one of those two today. That third one was fantastic. What did he just say? Say it again.
People on their way to work.
People on their way to work buy coffee. Is that true? Yes. I want you to write one thing that makes you or your product better or different. And different should be better. You can't like magically make the material appear. You have to buy the material. What are the real costs? So you know exactly what it is that you need to do. Great opening statement, right? So I provide Reiki treatments for the mind and body well-being. I read that, I know exactly what she's doing. If I spend 10 hours a week and I say I'm gonna spend 10 hours a week on getting out there and trying to sell my product, and I'm going to the wrong people, the people that are not gonna buy my product, then guess what? I'm wasting 10 hours a week and I'm not gonna, right. Yeah, the business, you're gonna make money. So at the end of the day, our financial projections tell us a lot. They tell us how much we gotta charge. They also help you make the really tough decisions. It just means that when you open your idea up to other people, you get things thrown at you that you would never think of. So we're gonna set you up for success.
These classes have been helpful for me because it gives me the confidence that I can start my own business even though I have a disability.
These classes have been helpful for me. Well, they helped me to read a room, helped me with sales.
They helped me to meet other people.
Feel more confident.
But I learned that you should not have 3 letters to spell out your name because people are going to ask, what does it mean? And I don't want to be the one to sit there and explain it every time. So I learned not to do that. I feel more confident of being a business owner.
I like Nick's class. Make me more happy. A lot of big money in my pocket.
Hi, welcome to the second half of our show, The Spirit of Entrepreneurship, and I'd like to introduce some folks who are here today. First, we have Allison DuPont, Kevin Bertrand, and Deb Duke. Welcome to today's show. Glad you're all here, and we're going to start with a little bit with Allison. So Allison, if you could tell us about your business, the name of the business, and a little bit about it.
So my business is called Allison DuPont Designs. I am a graphic designer, and all of the work I do revolves around that. I have 2 aspects of my business. The first is what you traditionally think of in terms of graphic design, which is things like logos and letterhead websites. The larger portion of my business right now is a line of handmade paper goods and invitations, event stationery. That's where I've been focusing most of the work on my business in recent years.
And Kevin, can you tell us a little bit about your business?
All right. My business name is Kevin's Firehouse Snacks. I have a snack box at 3 different fire stations, and 2 in East Greenwich and 1 in Coventry. I sell different kind of snacks, for firefighters when they have a call and when they come back, and then they can get snacks if they get hungry. So that's what
That's great.
That's my business.
How long have you had that business, Kevin?
I don't remember.
Is it about a year?
Yeah. Yes.
About a year. Okay. Allison, how about you? How long have you had your business?
I started my first job in 2009, so it's been it'll be 10 years next month.
How did you get interested in graphic arts and web design? Why did you decide that that was going to be your business?
Well, arts have always been an interest to me, sort of generally. I went to art school, and I went to the Rhode Island School of Design, and while I was there, I found that any kind of art that involved the computer and graphic arts, things like that, were a lot easier for me to do physically. which kind of helped direct my interest. I also just liked the concept that you were making art that people had access to on a much regular routine basis without a lot of money or access to some sort of special event. So that decided my career, and then it was just a matter of finding a job once I got out of college. So.
Great. And what about you, Kevin? Why did you decide on Firehouse Snacks?
Ever since I was young, I was interested in fire trucks and emergency services. So that's why I wanted to do a snack business at stations. So I was liking fire trucks and firefighters ever since I was a little kid.
Wow, great. How did you get the first connection with the fire department?
One of the firemen that is in East Greenwich, his name is Dave LaValle. He's the one that told me about to have a snack business inside his station. So great. I did that ever since.
So you made a contact with somebody that you knew.
Yep.
And it's grown since then. Mm-hmm. So both of you have been involved with some of the business development classes that the DD Council, in collaboration with the Center for Women in Enterprise, have been offering to people with disabilities across the state to help people to kind of learn about different aspects of running a business and help you with focusing in to make your business even more successful than what it is. So, Kevin, you participated in some of the classes. Did you have a favorite class, or what did you have a favorite class?
Everything was my favorite.
Okay.
Everything. But the one reason why I like the class is because you said like to make a plan how to make your business grow. Mm-hmm. That's what I like about that class.
Great. So that's helping you to kind of think about different things that you need to do in order to get into more fire departments. How many are you in now?
3.
3. Okay. And Allison, you've participated in a couple of the classes. What have you thought of the classes and this whole particular project in general?
I mean, I think it's a great project, and the classes bring a lot of value to people at all different points in their business, whether they're just starting or, like me, been in business for a long time. I'm at a point where I need to really focus on keeping my business fresh and keeping it growing so I don't stall out. And I've found the same business planning sessions and marketing sessions that a lot of people are using to help start their business are very helpful to me to keep looking for fresh ideas and ways to keep my business alive and thriving and growing.
Okay. So Deb, you're someone that works with Kevin. Can you tell us a little bit about who you work for and what your role is with Kevin?
I work for West Bay Works. West Bay, we just changed our name. It's West Bay RI. And I'm a business initiative coordinator. And Kevin was very interested in fire houses and fire trucks. He has a big collection. Ever since he was little, he used to go visit at the fire stations. So he was very interested in doing something along those lines. And so he decided on doing snack boxes at the place, but we helped him set up the business. We helped him get the boxes, right? Go shopping for the products, and just everything. Did inventory sheets that he fills out. We help him with those too, and that's about it.
You've had a number of people participate in the project, in the different classes. How do you think the classes have helped people to learn about different aspects of running a business?
I think the classes are excellent. It shows them that there's a lot to do for a business. It also shows them about writing a business plan, the steps that they need to take, the financial aspect of it, which is a whole nother ball game. And I think that they've been really helpful and interested, and I just think that they've been great.
Great. What do you think is the next step for you, Kevin, with your business?
What do you want to do?
Trying to get more stations in.
How many stations would you like to get in the next year altogether?
10.
10. Awesome. That sounds great. And so are you going to be getting some technical assistance to help you to figure that out?
Yes.
Okay. How are you going to do that? Who's going to help you?
You.
I'm going to help you, yeah. And different people that are working through this project, right?
Yep. I know definitely it's you too. I know definitely it's you.
Yep. Okay. And what about you, Allison? What do you see as your next step with your business?
But my next step is definitely to looking to expand into a wider market, to have a little more reach. I have a fairly good reputation now, particularly with my invitations in the local market, and I'm trying to really capitalize on that and potentially get some equipment in the next few years to expand to some new product offering that's unique, not only in terms of the other professionals in the area, but just in general. There's a kind of printer I'm looking for sometime in the next few years, hopefully, that will allow me to provide a service that none of the much larger scale vendors are even able to provide in the southern New England area.
So what we've learned in the last year is that there's a lot of people around the state that are really interested in starting their own business, but they don't really know all of the steps that are involved with that or what the process entails. Do you have a particular tip that you would offer to people that are thinking about starting their business? Allison?
I think it's really important to pay attention to when you see an opportunity. If you're out and you are looking for something and you can't find it, or you see something and you go, I could do that, you know, better or faster or easier than these people. I think it's important not to let those opportunities pass you by.
Okay. How about you, Kev? Do you have something that you would say to somebody that's just thinking about starting a business?
I would say let's go to like go to the business classes and talk to Sue Bavens and see what you wanted to do, how you go, and see what your next step is.
Perfect. I think that that's exactly right. I really believe that anybody that has a hobby can turn that into a potential business. And I think that it's really great to have people like you that are on the show. And we really appreciate that you came and shared your personal stories, and hope that your stories will inspire other people to think about starting a business and growing their business. So thank you very much for being on today's show. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.